We were in villages in far remote areas where up to 70% of the girls will be trafficked. We were in these villages where we found out from them that by the age of 2 or 3, these young girls are already being groomed by family members in their huts at night for things to happen to them that are not the choices that any of us would make for any human being. And we had to wrestle with that. And we were there in those spaces when we had to hear that some of these beautiful faces would be subjected to things happening to them 20 and 30 times a day. And I know that's uncomfortable, but it's a reality of what's happening.
Paul told the story of the body girls, and it shocked me, and I couldn't wrap my head around it. I still can't wrap my head around it. I knew that I needed to do something. And I was brainstorming, and we're like, well, what if we hike? I presented it to my principal, and I'm like, hey, does this sound like something Pacifica would want to be a part of?
Her idea was to work with Venture to provide an opportunity for our students to get out on a Saturday and spend 5 hours hiking to sacrifice something for the betterment of others.
The goal is to raise money and awareness of the sex trafficking situation in Nepal, and we had a number of $100,000 and $1,000 per person, and we had like over 100 people sign up saying they were interested. And I go to a small school, so that's the majority of the student population, and now we have a chance to act on something that we all know is wrong. The journey has been hard. You know, you get worried about the number and the goal and will we reach it? It kind of all can get to you. And so I think anytime I thought of the body girls, it was thinking of their situation, and I think that's what kind of kept me going. 2 days before the hike, there was this huge rainstorm, and the trails that we were going to hike closed down. We ended up switching over to the beach the night before the hike. It was still really stressful of like, okay, so now how do I get all this information out to everyone? I was definitely nervous that all this work was going to not turn out the way that we had hoped. Before I got in the car, there were a lot of nerves, and I'm like, I don't think many people saw the email, and I'm worried that it's only gonna be a few of us. And then when we got there and set up the little table, and then people started showing up, and then before you know it, you look out and there's like 60 people there.
You're the ones that made this happen. At least 10 girls' lives are changed because of what you've already raised. But most of all, students, thanks for being what we hope the next generation looks like.
I came out today because I care about the cause of Venture. I think about, like, what if it was my sister? What if it was my mom?
The baddie girls in Nepal, they just go through so many horrendous things, and we want to try to change that.
To think about the idea of caring for people is one thing, but what Venture's allowing our students to do is go and do good.
It was amazing to think that what we were doing here is changing lives over there, and I think that God has called us into a love that acts, and it's inspiring to see how God's love for these body girls has entered into our own lives and is making an impact and will continue to make an impact.